So what I wanted to take a look at tonight is the Zastava M90 Np. This is a 223 version of a gun that many of you may be familiar with. The Zastava line includes the M70 AB2 underfolder, M70 B1, M70 OPAP, and what I'd like to take a look at are some of the similarities between this gun as well as some of the differences. All the ones I previously mentioned are chambered in 7.62 by 39, the more or less traditional AK-47 round. However, this one is a 223 5.56 version of, I won't say the same gun because there are some notable differences, but it is akin to its stable mates, and again does share a number of similarities between them in some respects. So this is what we're talking about. This is the M90 Np. So to start with, what you'll see in common with this version of the Zastava is the bulge receiver. As we see here, it's a thicker receiver, and it's kind of indicated by the bulges on either side, as you see there, and on this side as well, bulged out receiver, which makes it more rigid and sturdier. It's more or less the same profile barrel, in other words, the same thickness. Even though this is 223, it's still a nice thick barrel, about the same as far as I can tell as the 7.62 versions. The furniture is interchangeable. All of the handguards and buttstocks are interchangeable between this and the M70 series, including the OPAP and the M70 AB2 and B1. Really not a great deal of difference other than that. So again, in looking at the similarities, it does have the slant muzzle brake on the front, similar to the other ones that I mentioned. And at that point, there are some areas where it diverges from the other ones. The AB2, the B1, and the OPAPs have the flip-up grenade sight that's tied into the to the gas port. This one does not have that. In addition, this one, in addition to having a thick profile barrel similar to the other ones, this barrel is actually an 18-inch barrel as opposed to the other ones, which are 16 inches. So in addition to it being a thick barrel for the cartridge, it's also a longer barrel, and it does give a slightly longer distance between the front and rear sights. So I found those aspects to be interesting and appealing. What else? This one does not have the flip-up grenade sights. Instead, it has a gas adjustment system here, which has 3 different settings. This one, as you see, does have the side mount for optics, which you won't find on the AB2 or the B1. I believe that the OPAPs do have those. However, this one has it as well. Obviously, similar to the pistol version of Zastava's line, the M85 Np has this magazine well adapter, as you see on this one, which allows this to run a standard AR-15 magazine. Prefers the thinner profile magazines. What you see here is a Magpul Gen 2 PMag. Also the USGI aluminum mags seem to fit nicely. And so let's keep moving. As far as another significant difference, and I'm not aware of the OPAPs, but I do know that the AB2 and the B1 do not have a chrome line barrel. However, this one does indeed have a chrome line bore. That was actually a surprise to me. I did a little bit of research prior to purchasing this, and couldn't find a great deal of information about this particular gun as far as the details of it. So that was a pleasant surprise to see that there is a chrome line bore in this particular rifle. What else can we talk about here? I think that those are some of the high points as far as the similarities and the differences. And as far as the way this one is set up now, again, the photos on the intro showed how the gun ships when purchased new, with the black buttstock and the black polymer handguards. And what I have on here now was kind of just an experiment. I had an adapter, which I don't know how well it shows up on the camera, but this mounts underneath the pistol grip. This was intended for this Zastava pistols, the M92 and the M85. If you were to put a stabilizing brace on it or something along those lines, if you wanted to convert it into an SBR, this adapter allows you to do that and gives you a number of buttstock mounting options. I had this on my M85 NP, and I had the shockwave blade stabilizing brace on there, as you may be familiar. So just out of curiosity, when I got this, I wanted to try it out. I was not pleased with the configuration as it was when I got it, with the buttstock and the handguards. It seemed really heavy. There's no way around it. This is a big piece of steel. These changes to it have lightened it up pretty significantly, and it's not quite as big a hunk of steel to lug around as it felt like before. These are some surplus wood handguards. They have what's referred to as trench art, which is where the soldiers carved some markings into them, maybe out of boredom, in between conflict, and so it gives a lot of character. And I was pretty pleased with those. They weren't expensive, and I did a little bit of refinishing on them that kind of left some of the character to them. But again, what we have on the back was the pistol grip mount adapter, which allows you to put any number of different buttstocks on there. What I have on here is a ACE folding mechanism, and as many of you probably recognize, this is one of the original ACE. I believe they call them skeleton stocks. Very pleased with this. These come in 3 different lengths. I believe this is the shortest of the 3, which is a 7.5 inch. I believe they have 8.5 inch, 9.5 inch as well. This is the one that suits me. With this mounting system, it just bolts right in there, mounts up very solid. I actually had one of the integral ones that actually bolts into the back of the receiver. No matter what I did, seemed to find a way to work loose over time. Even with some Loctite in there and bolting it down really tight, over time it just seemed to work its way loose. If anybody has any suggestions on a way to remedy that, I wouldn't mind going back to that. But again, I do like the ease of literally just one screwdriver will allow you to switch this out. I can switch it out between the pistols if I wanted to go back to the stabilizing brace, or any of the other Zastava versions that I mentioned earlier, the M70s and so forth. And along those lines, let me just go ahead and mention this. This is, excuse the butt shot there. This is one of the guns that I mentioned earlier. This is a Zastava M90 B1. And this one, as I was mentioning earlier, has the flip-up grenade sights, the 16-inch barrel, again, about the same thickness as the other one. And so this one, in picking up where we left off with the last one with the adapter on the rear, what we're looking at here is an actual SB47 brace adapter, which again mounts right under the pistol grip. So you just loosen up the screw, pull the pistol grip down a little bit, slide that under there, and it really bolts up tight. If you have a thicker pistol grip, like this one is a Magpul MOE, it does mount up quite securely, and I've never had any issues with it coming loose, or any fear of it coming loose and possibly sliding out. Just has never happened, and I've used it for quite a while and put a lot of rounds through it. So basically what I did is I unscrewed the brace buffer tube, I guess you'd call it, and put an actual mil-spec buffer tube on here that will fit your M4 style buttstocks. Again, you're looking at a Magpul MOE on this one, which is so one of the benefits of this approach, rather than again the integral adapter that I was mentioning on the other one, which was working its way loose, is just the ease of interchangeability. If you are really interested in a traditional look, this is probably not going to be the answer for you. But if you got an M92 or an M85 laying around with an SB47 brace, for example, it's not a big project to convert that over to where you can put an actual buttstock on there, particularly if you have a carbine that you can legally put that on there with. It really makes the buttstock options a lot more interchangeable, and literally you just need a screwdriver to loosen up the pistol grip a little bit, and you can switch out your buttstock. For example, I could switch that folding A stock over onto this one within a matter of about 2 or 3 minutes. And again, if you like the flexibility and the interchangeability, that might be something to consider. And again, it just opens up a lot of flexibility as to how you can configure everything quickly and easily, without a lot of tools or without the need for a lot of Loctite. So again, I think we've covered most of the high points on this. I'm very pleased with this. I really like the 18-inch thick barrel. I like the fact that it's chrome lined. I'm interested in seeing how this gas adjustment system works. And again, overall, just very pleased with this. It's again, one of my main focuses has been getting a lot of bang for the budget, and I think that this is another good example of how to achieve that. You can probably get one of these. I think I've seen them starting out around the mid $600 price point. And again, with a few adaptations, it's pretty easy to inexpensively convert this into something that has a lot of character and a lot of flexibility and ergonomics to it. And I'm interested to get this out on the range and see how well it does. And I'm thinking that with the longer barrel, with the longer sight radius, that this is going to be a pretty good shooter. And time will tell, but I will have some videos up on that in the future. So I appreciate you watching this. I hope that some of the information was helpful or interesting to you in some way. And thanks again for watching.